Joe Gibbs Racing just dropped a major announcement that's set to shake up the sport in a move that's both surprising and strategic. JGR has confirmed that Chase Briscoe will be taking over the wheel of the number 19 Toyota for the 2025 season. This news comes as a bombshell, not just for the changes it brings to one of NASCAR's top teams, but for what it signals about the future of the sport. Let's explore this major development and explore what it means for JGR, Chase Briscoe, and the broader NASCAR landscape. We'll unpack the details, examine the implications, and look at how this move fits into the larger context of NASCAR's evolving competitive landscape. Chase Briscoe, the new face of JGR's number 19 car. First and foremost, Chase Briscoe is officially joining Joe Gibbs Racing for the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series season. He'll be stepping into the number 19 Toyota, taking over from veteran driver Martin Truex Jr., who's set to retire from full-time racing at the end of the 2024 season. This move represents a changing of the guard at JGR and brings fresh talent to one of NASCAR's most competitive teams. Joe Gibbs, the legendary team owner, shared his thoughts on selecting Briscoe for this crucial role. He emphasized two key factors that played into the decision: character and winning potential. Gibbs explained,
"Yeah, I think when it comes to picking talent, you come from a football background with draft and everything, so the most important you have on your team. It's really here is always starts with character. You're always looking at what kind of a person you're getting, and the thing that's different about our sport is that these guys have to represent companies, and they represent us."
This emphasis on character isn't just about personal integrity. In the world of NASCAR, where drivers are the face of major brands and sponsorships, their public image is crucial. Gibbs continued,
"And they're going to be in the public. If you kind of see the drivers, I've always really respected the drivers in NASCAR because you just don't find people getting in trouble. It's a very high standard, and so that's."
But it's not just about being a good person. In the high-stakes world of NASCAR, performance is paramount. Gibbs added,
"There's none of our sponsors say to us, we're okay riding in the back. You got to compete. You want to win."
This dual focus on character and competitiveness is what made Briscoe stand out as the ideal candidate for JGR. Briscoe's journey to this point hasn't been easy. His background is filled with sacrifices and challenges that have shaped him into the driver he is today. Gibbs acknowledged this, saying, "This resilience and determination are qualities that JGR clearly values and believes will translate into success on the track." For his part, Briscoe is thrilled about this new chapter in his career. He expressed his excitement about joining JGR, highlighting how the team's values and culture align with his own. Briscoe stated,
"It's super exciting for me to come over here to an organization that, I feel like this matches, my values, and just the culture over here is just different than anywhere I've ever been before. And, it starts at the top with Joe and Dave and Heather and just everybody. So it's been fun just for a couple weeks now to kind of learn that side of them and get to see what makes them be as successful as they are. And that's something I'm really excited to come over here next year." And
the opportunity to prove himself at one of NASCAR's top teams isn't lost on Briscoe either. He recognizes the pressure that comes with replacing a champion like Truex Jr., but he's ready for the challenge. Bass Pro Shops, a continued partnership. One of the most intriguing aspects of this announcement is the continuation of Bass Pro Shops' partnership with JGR. The iconic outdoor retailer has been a longtime sponsor in NASCAR, and their decision to stick with the 19 car even after Truex Jr.'s retirement speaks volumes about their faith in both JGR and Briscoe. Johnny Morris, the founder of Bass Pro Shops, shared his thoughts on this transition. He expressed gratitude for the past relationship with Martin Truex Jr. and excitement about the future with Chase Briscoe. Morris said,
"I just want to start off. Martin Truex can be somewhat modest sometimes. The other evening, he sent me a text. It was a picture, and he was on the back of the boat in North Atlantic, and he says, 'I'm waiting for a good tuna bite.' Well, a few minutes later, I get a picture. He's wearing stand-up gear, and he's fighting this giant fish, and one of his buddies sent. And then I get this picture and maybe you guys have seen it. If you haven't, you ought to ask Martin about it, because he catches this giant tuna. It was a big eye tuna, but it was a giant fish, and he caught it up on stand-up tackle, which is quite a feat. And I was just thinking, if Martin's getting pretty old, but if he can still catch a fish like that, he could still win another championship. And that's the main thing I was thinking about, is good luck, Martin and team, to get this championship this year. And I was just thinking about, I got to start by just saying thank you to Martin Truex Jr. Years now, I think 21, that we've been aligned through racing, and just we had a lot of unbelievable, happy, fun times. And all that time, Martin's just been a champion every way you measure it. Just how he represents our brand and gets after racing, and he's a champion on the track and just in life. And
looking ahead, Morris is optimistic about working with Briscoe. He stated,
"And America is the land of opportunity." And Stace, we're very excited. Joe picked you to be the driver of this 19 car, and we're all real proud and excited and grateful that we get to keep racing with the team there and be a part of the team. It's
Morris also drew an interesting parallel between Briscoe's journey and the founding of Bass Pro Shops.
In racing as a young man, what I didn't realize, some of his, and started off, kind of remind me of a country music singer, Chris Jansen, that pursued his career, and he just lived out of his car for a year down in Nashville, following his passion. And I think back how we started Bass Pro in the back of my dad's liquor store.
Joe Gibbs also emphasized the importance of this continued partnership. He highlighted how the relationship with Bass Pro Shops goes beyond just sponsorship, touching on shared values and interests. Gibbs explained,
companies in America that everybody just admires. It's a huge deal for us. And the relationship, too, the thing about Bass Pro, it is relationships. And when you get a chance to know Johnny and the team there that he has, and JP, and the things that Johnny, within a few minutes, just like he did right there, the things he really feels passionate about, you can tell, is with family. It always comes up.
Gibbs further elaborated on the significance of the Bass Pro Shops brand.
So for all of those reasons, I honestly think that logo that the guys are wearing and I'm wearing, I think it's one of the most iconic logos in America. People recognize it. I see teenagers lots of times run around with the hat on. And so Johnny's built, he and his family and team out there have built a fantastic
This alignment of values between JGR, Briscoe, and Bass Pro Shops creates a strong foundation for success both on and off the track. Martin Truex Jr.'s legacy and future. While the focus is on the future with Briscoe, it's important to acknowledge the incredible career of Martin Truex Jr. and his contributions to JGR. Truex Jr. will be retiring from full-time racing at the end of the 2024 season, but his relationship with JGR isn't ending completely. Joe Gibbs revealed that Truex Jr. will continue to be an ambassador for the team in the years to come, he said.
The other thing I was going to say about Martin, Johnny touched on it there. Martin will continue to be an ambassador for us for the years going forward. We're still talking about things that he might do for us, and so that's going to be exciting. If we can get him off a boat or out of a deer blind someplace, we'll have a chance. I'm still amazed. I still told him, I said, do you really think you can fish every day?
This transition speaks to the respect and appreciation JGR has for Truex Jr. and ensures that his expertise and experience won't be lost to the team entirely. JGR's team structure and key personnel. The announcement of Briscoe's signing also provided insight into JGR's team structure and key personnel. Joe Gibbs took time to highlight several individuals who play crucial roles in the organization's success. Toyota's involvement in decision-making and support was emphasized, with Gibbs stating,
Toyota is a huge part of it. Tyler's here today representing Toyota, but it's Jack, Hollis, it's Dave Wilson, it's the whole team over there. And so Toyota wants to win. They're very competitive, and they also care about our race team for sure.
Gibbs also highlighted the longevity of their partnership with Toyota. We've got a partnership with them now that's going on 16 years. And you know, one of the things about partnerships, it's when you go through things like racing, you got highs and you got lows. And with Toyota, we've been through both. And once you learn, you develop a real strong relationship. And anytime we've been in a downturn for any reason, it's always been together. We're just going to work and we're going to find a way to get out of this.
And we've got a partnership with them now that's going on 16 years. And, you know, one of the things about partnerships, it's when you go through things like racing, you got highs and you got lows. And with Toyota, we've been through both. And once you learn, you develop a real strong relationship. And anytime we've been in a downturn for any reason, it's never been.
Heather Gibbs, Joe's daughter-in-law, was mentioned as taking on an increased ownership role. Gibbs said, "Heather's here today taking on a huge role with our ownership now, and most of you are getting a chance to know her."
Heather's here today taking on a huge role with our ownership now, and most of you are getting a chance to know her.
Dave Alpern's long-term involvement with the team was acknowledged, as was Michael Hamlin's role in competition direction. Gibbs explained Michael coming on board to help us with our competition. Dave, not help us, but direct our competition has been a huge asset for us.
Michael coming on board to help us with our competition. Dave, not help us, but direct our competition has been a huge asset for us.
Eric Shanks was credited for his part in reorganization efforts, with Gibbs noting, "Eric is sitting in here today too, that came on board through our reorganization after Kyle went home."
He's been a part of that. And then Eric is sitting in here today too, that came on board through our reorganization after Coy went home.
Tim Murnane was recognized for his financial guidance. Gibbs humorously added, "Tim is here too, has been such a supporter of all of us from a financial standpoint. He's brilliant and always keeps us in. I have a tendency to kind of go sometimes and spend the stuff, and he's there to kind of reel us back in."
It's awesome. And so I love that. Tim is here too. Has been such a supporter of all of us from a financial standpoint. He's brilliant and always keeps us in there. I have a tendency to kind of go sometimes and spend the stuff, and he's there to kind of reel us back in. And so for our whole team,
this insight into JGR's leadership structure underscores the team effort required to compete at NASCAR's highest level, the broader NASCAR landscape. While the Briscoe announcement is the headliner, it's worth noting some other significant developments in the NASCAR world. Casey Kahn, a former NASCAR star, is set to return to racing in the High Limit Racing Series for 2025. This sprint car series, co-owned by NASCAR driver Kyle Larson, will see Kahn piloting the number 9 car for Kubota High Limit Racing. Kahne's return to racing comes after retiring from NASCAR in 2018 due to health issues. He's since founded Casey Kahn Racing, or KKR, which has had over 140 wins and 6 World of Outlaws championships. Christopher Bell Briscoe's friend and soon-to-be teammate at JGR has confirmed his plans to return to dirt track racing in 2025. This comes after JGR lifted its ban on drivers participating in events outside of NASCAR. Bell will be making his first 410 winged sprint car start since June 2022 at the Dirt Car Nationals with the World of Outlaws. He told Flow Racing, "I've been out of sprint car racing for a while, so I'm looking forward to getting my feet wet and see how comfortable I am in my return." Kyle Larson, always a voice on NASCAR's format, has commented on potential changes to the playoff system. He expressed a desire for a format that maintains excitement while potentially being a little bit more fair. Larson stated, "I think there's probably ways that could keep it compelling, but also maybe a little bit more fair at the same point." There's no question that the playoffs are really exciting and the format produces excitement, so you don't want to get rid of that, but at the same point, yeah, I mean, you'd like to see it a little bit more fair, and maybe this is the fairest way. Lastly, Tyler Reddick's off-season priorities and the legal challenges faced by his team 2311 Racing serve as a reminder of the complex landscape NASCAR teams navigate both on and off the track. Reddick, who had an impressive 2024 season with 3 wins and his first Championship 4 appearance, is focusing on family time during the off-season. Reddick told NASCAR, "Working on other things outside of racing, catching up on life, honeydews, whatever you want to call them. Once I get all that stuff in a good place, I feel like I'll be decompressed and ready to get back just focused on racing." Meanwhile, 2311 Racing faced legal challenges related to NASCAR's charter system. The team, along with Front Row Motorsports, initially declined to sign the charter deal and sued NASCAR for alleged monopolistic practices. This led to a complex legal situation that could have potentially forced them to run as open teams in 2025. However, a preliminary injunction was eventually approved, allowing them to continue as chartered teams while the lawsuit proceeds. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to stay updated on upcoming content.